Hello, everybody. I'm Todd.
And I'm Owen.
And on today's episode of Movie LaBeoufs, we will be doing the spicy flick Hustlers.
Heyo.
Starring Jennifer Lopez and Constance Wu and Cardi B.
Cardi B?
So...
Wait. Not Hustlers with Paul Newman?
You see, that's what I thought at the beginning, too.
That's the movie I watched. Did you watch it? No.
Two different movies.
Well, Beyonce once said, Diva is a female version of a hustler, so... in her hit song.
Diva.
Sure. I was hoping you would know. So, Hustlers was written and directed by Lorena Scafaria, and it stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, and Julia Stiles. There's also Cardi B, of course.
Obviously. And Lizzo.
So Lorena Scafaria, have you seen any of her work?
Yes, actually I looked it up. She did Seeing a Friend for the End of the World. She wrote and directed that, which is actually a great movie too. Steve
Carell and Keira Knightley. Yeah.
Yes.
So I haven't seen it. You watched it.
Yeah, very, very good.
Okay, right on. Did you see any match that?
Not in the club
at all.
Not in the slightest.
Interesting.
Maybe the way that it's shot, but
right. Yeah, she also did the movie The Meddler with Susan Sarandon.
Okay.
So I haven't even heard of it. But yeah, and then a few New Girl episodes. That's kind of her.
Okay, that's kind of like probably where she started, right?
Seems like she's just breaking out now.
Okay.
Which is cool. I think her doing this movie will be really, really good for her because I think she did a good job.
Yeah.
Todd, tell us what Hustlers is about.
The lowdown, the skinny on Hustlers. I keep calling it Hustlers. I know it's Hustlers, but I can't help it. So essentially, pretty basic plot point. The story revolves around a group of strippers in 2007 trying to make their way through New York City, turning tricks and doing anything they can to make that extra dollar. Now, times get tough when the recession hits, and the strippers must find a new way to make a living besides dancing. Now, what happens next? I don't know. Shit gets a little crazy.
Yeah, so they decide to start basically robbing
unsuspecting male clientele that was kind of going into the strip club before.
Yeah, the Wall Street guys.
Yeah.
That they know they can take advantage of. And then that brings up the idea, like, do they deserve to be taken advantage of because they're douchebags and they treat these women terribly,
yes.
Right? Yeah, awesome. So the movie stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, and Julia Stiles.
You may know Constance Wu from Fresh Off the Boat. She was also in that movie Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah. Also a very good flick, also. Yeah. Worth checking out.
She played the lead in that. What did you think of Constance Wu's performance?
I liked her.
Yeah, she was great, I thought.
It's funny because I thought... at first I was like, isn't she a bit older to be playing this role? But then you kind of look at it, it's like, I guess she's multi-versatile. She can play like...
That was what was interesting, is they all seemed like older strippers.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why they started to do... Because there's a scene where Jennifer Lopez she's giving them a dance and the guys say, all right, we're not feeling you tonight. And it's kind of like,
yeah,
she's getting like too old for this. So then now they have to turn tricks and...
They gotta hustle.
To figure out, how to get money in different ways. Constance Wu plays Destiny, which is the lead. She is a new mom, and she grew up without money and is taking care of her elderly grandmother and can't get a job. She starts stripping, makes decent money there, but then there's a recession,
Which to me was funny because the whole time the movie kind of takes place over a gap of it goes from 2006 to 2007 and right around into 2007 and you can see all the bankers in there and they're throwing all the money around.
True.
I was like, oh, buddy, well, I know what's coming. And then obviously the recession hits and it's a different game, right? Because all the financial guys are what went down. And
here's one weird thing I thought, though. I mean, I get it. They're saying about the recession, but the recession happens in the movie. Nobody's in the strip club.
Yeah, I went to the strip club during the recession. There was fucking people in there.
I think people will still go to the strip club.
Oh yeah,
right?
And that one was touted as a high end one, right?
Yeah.
So you'd think that these girls would be doing fine. I don't know.
At least okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't speak to, like, what the strip club scene in New York City is like. Because
exactly.
For all I know, there could be fucking a strip club every other block, right?
Right.
But as opposed to down here where...
Yeah, and I guess they make less money in the States. In Canada, dancers make 100% of the money from dances and tips and everything, and then the club just makes money off the door and off drinks and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
okay.
So it was kind of confusing in this movie how that works in the States. We don't know really how that works in the States.
Yeah.
But it seems like they get their tips and then they have to pay out the door guy, they have to pay out the manager, and all this stuff.
Yeah, they gotta grease people, right, to keep getting clientele.
Which sucks, yeah.
One of the most interesting things I noticed about this film is that there are no male protagonists. Every single male character is the antagonist, no matter what. Even in terms of like the cops that kind of come into the end, they still kind of like perceived as like these scumbag.
Yeah,
like,
even the cops said that they go to the strip club.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because now they're worried, and it's like, which is great. I mean, yeah. So it was written and directed by a woman and stars all female characters. And
I thought that was cool though.
Yeah, it was great.
I kind of noticed that like towards the middle of the movie, I was like, oh, there are really not. I've not seen a single male. Funny enough, I don't remember what his name is, but you know how like at the beginning, like Constance Wu's character is kind of like having like a tumultuous relationship with like this one guy. Mm-hmm. So that's a real like that guy is a music producer in real life, and he just got in a bunch of trouble for like abusing his girlfriend.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it was really like ominous to see like him slamming the door.
Did that happen after the movie?
It just recently kind of came out.
Interesting. So
I saw that and I was like, oh, it's a little awkward, but he's good at acting. Apparently he wasn't acting.
What is it? Sometimes art...
Oh, fuck. Art imitates life.
Imitates life. Yikes. Oh. Yeah, but I mean that's the point. Like that happens so much, and that's what they're showing.
It was raw. It was like it was real. Like that's like there is some far-fetchedness to it. I will say that. Like I'm like okay, like let's not go this far. But like for the most part, very believable. Like with the way that the women in that industry are treated and are basically touted as prostitutes, kind of. So
and you can relate it to any other industry too. Yeah. So Jennifer Lopez plays Ramona, who's her like mentor. Jennifer Lopez was 52, I think.
Oh, she does not look fucking 52.
Isn't that insane? And she's like incredibly fit and does this like amazing dancing, which is that her doing the dancing?
Yeah, 100%.
Insane. Yeah, wild. And also, so what did you think about her performance in the movie?
I think that was one of the best ones.
She was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. It was great. I was really... Well, J-Lo's been in the game for so long.
She has.
You know, if you look back at movies like Selena or like Patch Adams... not Patch Adams, sorry. What's the other Robin Williams one?
Big?
No, that's the Tom Hanks. The one that's like Big. Jack. Like, she's in that. She plays a teacher. She does a good job in that, you know. That,
Big's Tom Hanks.
Biggest Tom Hanks, yeah. His old tar speaks, man. But no, it was like J-Lo's acting. That was just great.
She was amazing.
There's an opening scene in the movie where J-Lo does like kind of her first dance in the movie, and she just comes out like a bad bitch and runs that fucking dance floor, and everyone just starts throwing money on the stage, and like I got chills watching it. I was like, yo, this is like legit.
That's great.
Yeah, a great scene. I was like blown back by that, taken aback by that.
And she plays, so her character is from the Bronx, and she has this.
Yeah, she's always
Bronx
like that.
accent,
yeah,
which is great because we all know
she is from the Bronx.
Jenny from
the block.
From the block.
The Bronx.
What is it going? Yeah.
No matter where I go, I know where I came from. The Bronx.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Jennifer Lopez was also produced the movie as well.
Okay.
So apparently she saw the script and thought something that deserved to be made.
Well, it's based on an article, right?
Yeah. So article written by Jessica Pressler for our New York magazine.
Yeah, and you kind of see Julia Stiles plays that role of that character. Yeah. And it kind of takes place over the course of like she's interviewing Constance Wu's character, who's telling the story of how they got to whatever predicament they ended up getting into, and kind of just like sets everything up.
What did you think about the whole present day interviews aspect of the movie?
I liked it, but it also teased it up for like that something like something's going sideways. Like you're kind of like, it doesn't really shock you when it goes bad.
Right.
You know, like it kind of just implies that, like, I mean, let's get real, something had to happen, right?
Well, what was interesting to me while seeing those scenes is that she was clearly in her home and not in prison. So
yeah, that was also that was also kind of another one for me where I was like, they couldn't have been that bad because, you know, she's not in jail.
Cardi B's first movie role. What did you think about Cardi B?
I felt like it was just put in there because it takes place in New York and she's from New York, right? I believe she's also from Brooklyn as well.
Is she?
I think yeah. I think so. There's a lot of New York elements to this movie.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, you know, and a lot of music industry people obviously in it. It's very musically charged. A part of me felt like it was more like an MTV style movie. Like if you could have, like, MTV was going to produce another movie, it kind of was even shot like that a little.
Right, but a good one.
But a good one, yeah. Not like...
Yeah, because there's so much integrity in this movie, I thought.
Yeah. Like I could have done without the Cardi B stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I don't feel like these characters needed to be established because they kind of just went away.
It seems like, I think Cardi B just wanted to be in a movie. You know, when like musical artists are just like, I want to try acting now.
Oh god, like when you ever see T.I. in something, you're like, please no. Like,
so they, you know, ask a bunch of people if they'll let Cardi B in their movie, and this movie Hustlers comes along and it's about strippers, and like, sure, we'll let you play one of the loud, obnoxious strippers in the beginning of the movie, and she's in the movie for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes being generous, and that's and I think that might be 8 minutes too much for me. A solid like little clip of her being in there would have been fine.
So when they end up making their own little crew and go on these hustling like missions, they bring in this other girl called Mercedes, and she's played by Keke Palmer.
Oh, that was Keke Palmer. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought she was great in everything, but I felt that was kind of like a replacement for Cardi B. Yeah, they didn't really introduce her, Mercedes. They introduced Cardi B.
They introduced kind of a slew of characters at the beginning before the reception happens, and like the girls are all like, "Yeah, we're making all this money. It's all great." And you got to assume that like in reality, what would happen is some of them would go get jobs elsewhere, or you know.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, they kind of wrote these characters in, and then nothing. And when it wasn't just Cardi B, there was a bunch of other, a handful of other characters that they kind of started building, and then you just never got anything out of it. And then they kind of halfway replaced them.
Weirdly, I kind of liked that because that's kind of how it is, right? You
it is realistic.
Strong relationships with people you never see again when your business closes or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it felt like they brought in Cardi B to be one of the main her character to be one of the main characters, and then we're like, no, Cardi B can't.
It could have been the acting too. Yeah. I think what happened is they were like, this isn't working.
Obnoxious character, which she could only play.
Yeah,
they wouldn't give her the Mercedes role. I remember.
Yeah, girl, I need to tell you about this. I was like, oh no. I was like, this isn't necessary.
Okay, Cardi B, you got your moment.
Yeah, you had it, right?
Say your
line, your 2 cents.
Your mks.
Mks.
What are they?
I can't even do it, and I won't.
Say your okers. All right, so, Todd, did you like the movie?
I liked it. I liked some aspects of it. I didn't like other aspects of it. One of the main things for me, outside of JLo's acting, which we touched on earlier, which I thought was fucking great, the soundtrack was really cool, based on the fact that, because it jumps through 2007 to 2011 to 2012, 2013, and the songs all are from like popular songs from that time frame.
Yeah, so I laughed when they went back to 2006 and it was Sean Kingston.
Yeah.
And that is so of its time, right?
Yeah, and there would be like, you know, like random like 50 Cent songs would come on, and then you get like a David Guetta song like later on in the thing. And it was kind of like stuff that was popular at the time. And it was a nice throwback from like, oh fuck, I remember this song from like 10 years ago. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, and that I enjoyed that. It wasn't too long, which is good. It was pretty straight and to the point. A couple plot holes that we'll kind of get into a bit later. But overall, acting, good job done by Constance Wu. Like very, you know, run of the mill. It was all right. J-Lo, great. The rest of the cast, very decent. And yeah, I give this a really like run of the mill score. I'd kind of give it around like a 6.
What would you give it?
I give it a 6. Like watchable, you know, it's got some redeeming qualities to it, but I wouldn't really put it over 6.
So its IMDb score is 6.3 at the moment.
Oh, cool. All right.
It has a Metacritic score of 79. Pretty high.
That's too high.
Think so?
I think that was way too high.
I would probably rate this a 7.
You give it a 7?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a lot better than what you expect it to be.
I will say that I was gearing up to be like, this is going to be a fucking 3.
Which I think, that's due to the title of the movie. Personally,
I think so. For me, it was the title and the cast that kind of like. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
J-Lo. What is she?
But this comes back to the Cardi B thing, because Cardi B is on the poster and is touted as like one of the main characters and stuff,
Right.
and that's kind of what turned me off of watching it originally. So I was like, I don't want to watch
Which
this.
is probably some sort of deal they had, and like to make Cardi B be happy that she gets to be in this movie. But I guess that that is also marketing. Like, I bet more people, I guess, would watch the movie if Cardi
And
B
Lizzo
was in it, maybe.
And Lizzo's in it too. Like, yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot of like
but it
current
totally
artists.
doesn't need to be that. Like, it's totally more than that. This movie.
Oh, it is. So, what'd you think?
I liked it. Yeah, like I said, I was surprised. I mean, I heard it was good, but I was surprised how much I actually enjoyed it. I thought the characters were great, especially Jennifer Lopez's character, and Constance Wu was awesome. And there was a lot of like real moments in it, you know, with them having to deal with their children they have, and then also remember that like quick dream sequence? Where
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
And
it was very average for me, but yeah, it's still like a decent watch. You know, like.
Would you recommend Hustlers?
I would recommend it to people who are in the mood for something like that. If you're in the mood for more of like a musical, a little more like female empowerment movie kind of thing, you're not going to get it's not an action-packed movie. It does seem to move a little slow at times, I found, but like I said, I would say like, yeah, it's a good, decent like Saturday night movie if you want to check it out with the girlfriend or your significant other or whoever, and yeah.
All right.
Definitely a couple movie, I would say.
Cool. So, let's do spoilers.
Oh, buddy, bring them on.
Talk about the ending and stuff like that. So, yeah, like we said, it's based off of a true story. So these girls were...
real strippers.
Yes. Drugging and... so they were giving ketamine.
And I believe it was ketamine and MDMA.
That's right. Obviously make them... happy and having a good time.
But still able to function.
Yeah, and then wiping their memory with the ketamine is what they said. So, as much as I dislike guys like this, it's still pretty fucked up to drug people, right?
That's kind of where I was, like, sitting at it. It was like, there wasn't really this moral, like, it kind of went away from that. Like, it was kind of pointed at, it was like, yeah, these guys all had it coming. Mm-hmm. And it kind of showed that it was like, there was that one guy who was like, I didn't deserve this or whatever, because they were setting them up. And it kind of paints them in a bad light, and I know that. And I understand where it was trying to go, but it still also set up this thing of, like, drugging people is okay, kind of, if it's what you have to do kind of thing. It kind of set that's kind of the tone I was getting across from it. And I was like, in no situation, whatever your situation you're in financially, is this acceptable?
Right.
Whether it's males doing it to females, I see the irony in this movie, or females doing it to males, it's not something that should be condoned. And I feel like in the movie it was kind of like, not glamorized, but like...
Yeah, well, it was present during the whole movie, and they talked about it, but they never really showed any repercussions or taught them that it was wrong to do.
Yeah, no, it was just... And none of them go to jail at the end. Everyone gets off scot-free. Yeah. They end up with, like, probation. Yeah. Spoilers, there you go. Yeah. And no one does any real hard time, and they all just kind of end up working in, like, grocery stores and, like, department stores and, just kind of going straight. But it still doesn't, like, they could have fucking killed people doing shit like that. Like, Yeah. It wasn't even, it went away from being about the suits and it just ended up being about the money.
That was, that was the...
Which is obviously the build, right? It's like, you never have enough, right? Like, it's kind of like...
Yeah, they seem to accidentally have drugged and took advantage of this, like, more innocent guy.
Yeah.
We're not totally clear on his story, but that's how they kind of paint it. Like, that's how they got in trouble, because... He was like...
He caught them by calling the shitty girl that they hire on, that JLo hires on, the wild card one. And she's like, yeah, we just drugged you a little bit. And then he shows it to the cops. Yeah. And then what's even fucked is the cops are like, oh, well, we wouldn't have believed you. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
That was interesting and powerful, yeah, when they did the montage of, like, their, like, victims basically calling the police station. And...
Tell them they were drugged.
I was drugged by strippers and they stole my money. And the cops basically go, yeah, okay, and hang up the phone. Which, you know, you can say is like, cops are shitty, but it's also like, yeah, someone's going to complain about losing $5,000 at a strip club. You're going to be like, okay, buddy. Like,
yeah. You shouldn't be going
off.
But the one guy went back like 4 times.
Yeah.
There was this one guy that they kept getting, and he was sitting there, like, well, how many times did you go, sir? It's like 4. I was like,
so exactly.
So like in that sense, it's like you didn't learn your lesson. But then again, it raises the question: is they're drugging them, so they're not in the strip club originally. They go out to a bar, drug them at the bar, and then bring them to the strip club, and then take advantage of them.
So yeah, the thing I thought was fucking even more shady though is that the club was in on it too. So,
that didn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, but they didn't say. And this was all in the article. They didn't say that maybe the club got in trouble and they left it out of the movie, but they didn't say it. And I'm like, that's almost worse. That like the company they're working for is like, yeah, do this, just cut us in on it, right?
Because it's not racketeering, but it's kind of like the term for it is like it falls into that confines of the law where it's like you're setting up people to spend money without their consent. So I think that's kind of like it's like a form of like racketeering, like sort of thing. Like it's really fucked up. Like, yeah. but yeah, no, like that goes like I had a few issues with that, but yeah, outside of that, like when they were getting to the height of it, it got a little unbelievable for me that they would be doing all this without getting caught.
Happen.
But it did happen apparently. Yeah. So
yeah, I haven't read the article. Have you read that?
Oh no, I was gonna skim over it and didn't get to that.
But yeah, so I am curious like how much they changed it just for
movie purposes.
Yeah, but I feel like they didn't very much because it's kind of obvious like they wanted to show the story with as much integrity as possible.
But yeah, I'd still say like check it out. Soundtrack, like I said, the soundtrack alone for me was enough.
I like that part where they're it's like the first guy that they kind of are partying with, and he's like wasted, and they're trying to get him to the cab, and they're like, just tell the man where you live, and he's like, New York!
You gotta be able to be more specific than that. Fifth Avenue.
I thought that was funny.
Close enough. Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. Anything else to mention here?
No. It's pretty cut and dry.
Right on. I also liked the like arrest montage at the end where they're all like walking out of different places and there's just like cops there and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like the end of any heist like / crime movie where they get caught. Like, there's always like a montage of people getting arrested. Yeah.
And then Destiny is just Constance Wu's character is just walking out like a badass because she knows what's up. I liked that.
She knew she was going down for it.
Should there have been a $sign through the us?
There should have fucking been. I don't know why there wasn't. Or at least like a stripper pole.
So yeah, I honestly, that was my biggest gripe is that I feel like the movie was marketed in the wrong way.
I think so
Even
too.
the poster, it's like the word hustlers in like pink and like glittered letters.
It looks like a Magic Mike movie. But in that vein.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, but it's not. Like, so that's kind of like it wasn't. I don't think it was marketed properly. Also, because that's what I thought it was.
Okay, so its budget was $20 million.
So gross.
That's and domestic opening $33 million. So it did make money.
It made money.
Yeah, it made that's pretty good money.
Well, I mean the budget, does that include the advertisement? Because it was heavily advertised.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it grossed $100 million.
Okay, that's not bad.
So this movie did
it's
well.
Profitable, yeah. But yeah.
That's great, yeah. I didn't realize that.
Because really you're just paying the actors. There was no over-the-top special effects or like, locational shooting or anything like that. It was all pretty basic. But yeah.
That's Hustlers.
That's Hustlers. Okay, so we're diving right into the Oscar stuff right out of the bat here.
Name of my band.
Oh yeah, I gotta get another brewski.
Oh, I opened you one.
Oh, you did?
Or gave you one, yeah. No, it's over there.
Go get it. It's open.
Have you found a list yet?
Yeah.
I can't find a fucking list.
Okay.
Give me a goddamn link.
Give me a goddamn link. Please. Please. Yeah, so all the Oscar nominations have been released. I have not seen many of these. I don't think you have either.
I've seen Nomadland.
Oh, you've seen Nomadland. Okay.
What else is there? Well, name
Okay,
them
so,
off, yeah.
all right, for Best Picture, we have Sound of Metal, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Trials of Chicago 7, and No Man Land. That's just for Best Picture. Now, if we'll move over to one of my favorite categories, Best Actor, we have Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Stephen Yeun for Minari, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Gary Oldman for Mank.
Oh yeah, Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary. I
always gets a.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen Mank, but I do know that this is a.
What's Mank about?
So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of trailers. I try to stay away from the trailers because, you know, personally, I find it gives away too much of the movie, and you kind of want to go into a movie and like.
Yeah,
not
I haven't
really
watched a trailer in years.
Yeah. So, Mank. Mank is directed by David Fincher, so you already kind of have a general idea of where this is going.
Right.
It's all in black and white.
Oh, really?
And it's basically about the race to finish the making of Citizen Kane.
Really?
Yeah. It's about the screenwriter, the guy who wrote Citizen Kane. So, I mean, I don't know. From what I've been reading, apparently this is, like, legit.
Yeah, so all the Oscar noms were announced, and it's kind of the weirdest thing because it's a year where, you know, there weren't many movies in theaters because of the pandemic, and it's kind of like all these movies we don't really know of.
Yeah, I think it was kind of just like a lot of indie releases. So, like, I mean, not to say blockbusters are usually kind of left out of the Oscars, really. Like,
yeah.
They kind of, you know, like special effects and usually always get in. Mm-hmm. Like Star Wars, for some reason, is always in it.
For special effects.
For special effects. I think there was a year where...
Sound design.
I think there was a year that the girl, the main actress, was nominated for something. Like the first one when the...
Really?
Yeah, I think so, if I can remember correctly. And all I can remember is being like, no. No. Not great acting. But yeah, okay, so what else?
So have you seen any of these movies?
I have not.
That's crazy.
Any of them. So we're going to have to do a bit of work, and I would imagine... I would imagine we would be seeing some of these. Sound of Metal, personally, is for me, I did watch the trailer for that one, and I did read up on it, and this sounds fucking awesome. So basically the plot is a guy who's a drummer in a metal band who's completely lost his hearing. I don't know if it's like, you know, degenerative or it's because of like music, like him playing so loud. But yeah, he starts to lose his hearing, and he kind of has to go work in like a household with like other deaf people, and like he has to learn sign language. It looks fucking unreal.
It's kind of like All Gone Pete Tong. Do you remember that movie?
Oh god, I mean,
that's a Canadian movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where it's the DJ and he loses his hearing.
Yeah, that's right.
And he uses like flip-flops to feel the vibrations.
Yeah, but that's very similar to this though. That's what I thought. It's kind of funny that you brought that up. It is very similar to that.
Also Beethoven. He also lost his hearing.
Dun, 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 dun. I was going to try and do a Beethoven tune, but
dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 yeah, or the milk song. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, drink milk, love life.
Ode to Joy.
Ode to Joy? Okay, yeah, all right. The milk. I got the milk song. You know, everyone played on recorder.
Love life,
drink milk. Yeah, but you remember when we played on fucking recorder in school, and you'd be like, okay, can anyone play anything else? Nope. Okay.
Hey, I played Hot Cross Buns all the time.
Okay. Some of the documentaries. I'm a big doc person.
Yeah.
Mole Agent, I haven't seen. Collective, not sure. My Octopus Teacher, I have seen.
Oh yeah.
Great movie.
Really? Okay.
Crip Camp. It's not what you think it is.
What
Also,
is it?
It's just a camp for crippled people. You know, they're kind of interacting and learning.
Oh my god.
Oh, you thought it was like the Crips and the Bloods. It was nuts. The South Park episode about that, actually.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Why would they call it Crip Camp? That sounds like a terrible name.
I'm pretty sure the Obamas are affiliated with this in some way.
Okay.
If I can remember correctly, reading about it, I remember seeing something that the Obamas were affiliated with this in some way. But
in some ways, the Obamas are affiliated with everything.
I know. They're like the Kennedys. Best Supporting Actor, Sacha Baron Cohen, Off Fair Trials Chicago 7, which is found on Netflix. Most of these can be found on Netflix, from what I can see.
Yeah. Okay, well, then that will make it easy for us.
Yes, because of limited releases and stuff, it will be hard to track some of these down. As you go through, like, because of the shortage of movies, Best Picture...
I know, it's not too hard to do.
After Best Picture, all the actors who are nominated are all affiliated through the Best Pictures. Usually you get a year where, like, the Best Supporting Actress are from movies you've never fucking heard of, but this year they're all somehow affiliated with these movies. I guess maybe there's nothing else.
There wasn't that many movies.
There wasn't a lot of shit that came out. We are looking at a fucking tsunami of stuff coming out this year, though. Like, a lot of shit that's been pushed back. Is set for...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, well, obviously, there was a ton of stuff that was supposed to be released, but it's also like that thing where they're saying, you know, like the Roaring 20s was after the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
So, like, the same thing will potentially happen to us once we're all allowed out into public again. And, like, same thing with movies. Like, everything's going to just boom because people are going to want to do
it's already coming out now, because I've noticed just through content, television content in itself, that, like, in the next few months, there's so much shit coming out.
Right.
It's because everyone had stockpiled shit through COVID, and they couldn't start filming until the summer, right, I guess?
Yeah.
And, that's why we're about to see a lot of stuff coming out. Which is good. Hopefully the theaters will open up soon, and then people can actually go and watch movies as movies are intended. You know, in the theaters.
Like Dune got pushed back a year, and
Dune got pushed back. Yeah, Dune got pushed back to 2023 or 2022.
Did it?
I think so.
Oh God, come on! You know what?
If it's good, who cares?
That's what I say. I will always.
I would wait.
Yeah,
I would wait, like they did with you haven't seen Sonic, have you?
No.
Okay, Sonic initial release was just trolled to death on the internet.
Yeah,
like everyone was like,
character.
Yeah, everyone's like, this looks awful. Like, you can do better than this. And the studio went, reshot it, redid it. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah, they
listen.
What I heard is they got like an expert involved in the creative.
The creative process of the movie.
Exactly.
And as opposed to just slapping a video game character into it, I remember seeing the trailer in theaters, and there was a bunch of kids behind me, and they were just fucking laughing. And I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, they were like, this looks like shit. And I was like, it does.
Well, especially when the movie you're making, like, obviously it's like a kid's movie, but like, everyone that liked Sonic growing up in the 80s and 90s, like, they will be one of the main demographics. And those are that demographic that is the harshest on.
Yeah. Well, there's too much of a gap, right? Like, from when Sonic was relevant to now, kind of, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the studio went back and they did it, and I don't know, check it out. It's not that bad.
Well, especially for like Dune, which is
like Dune is coming off of like an 80s horrific I mean,
well, that's the thing, is like it's a beloved
book series.
It's a beloved book by so many people. When David Lynch did Dune, and it, obviously like that was a whole studio issue, and they like make the movie as they wanted it, type of thing. It was just like kind of a mess. No one has forgotten that.
Nope.
And everyone expects, or at least hopes for a good version of it. And Denis Villeneuve, who's going to direct it, also has that same opinion, and he wants to make it good. So
I'm just checking out his IMDb here, because it is scheduled for release in 2021. I will say this. Oh, he did Blade Runner
2049.
2049. Yeah. Okay.
So the funny,
and Sicario too.
Yeah. So the thing he said about 2049 is which I really like 2049. How about yourself?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are going to crucify me for this, but I liked it more than the original Blade Runner.
Oh God, yeah, true.
A lot of people are going to crucify me for that. I did like it more than the original Blade Runner.
Okay.
I also I like the Gauze.
Yeah,
the Gauze can do no wrong in my opinion.
So I like the original better, but I loved 2049. I thought it was great. And the thing that gives me encouragement about Dune is Villeneuve says that he wishes he could have spent a bit more time on 2049 because he thought he could have made it better. And he says, so he's taking that into account while he's making Dune.
Okay.
So the fact that they're pushing it, I'm just like, he just you know, he wants to make it
right
how it's supposed to
yeah
be.
you don't if you were gonna the amount of money they're putting into this, if they were gonna put out another flop, like, but there's too many big
not.
I don't see a world where that happens because there's too many good people involved in this. Like, never say never. I understand that.
Yeah, I'm a cynic, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen a good movie go bad, and like
I do think it's possible it will be bad, but hey, I'm just happy they're making it.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dune. I love the book
And Timothée Chalamet, great actor, powerhouse.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Huge up and comer. I predict that in like the next like 5 to 6 years, he's gonna be the biggest actor in Hollywood.
I think it's kind of a weird choice for the character Paul writing the book, but you know, I'm sure he'll do a good job.
You know he's gonna do a good job. Like, this kid can act. So like, he knows what he knows what he's doing. And like when I saw that, I was like, okay. I was like, it was kind of when I saw the Batman cast. I was like, really? We're doing this again? And then I saw who they were putting in it, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'm kind of more on board with this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, having, well, not just Robert Pattinson, which is also a great actor that a lot of people only know him for the Twilight stuff, but like, you know.
Oh,
Lighthouse, great. God. Like, he's been doing indie movies. He's been doing indie movies for so long that people haven't seen. And like, you know, of course he made a shitty movie or two in his career, but like now he's, and Paul Dano's in this too. Right. Paul Dano plays, I think he plays the Riddler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Colin Farrell's still great too, and is like depending on what Colin Farrell you get.
Be. Although he was in superhero movies before. And...
Oh god, that's right, he was Bullseye. Oh fuck, I fucking forgot about that.
And Daredevil, the like, what was it, 2000?
Oh, 2003?
Yeah,
2003.
Oh,
the Ben Affleck Daredevil, with Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
And then they had the gall to go make Elektra after that fucking piece of shit movie. They were like, okay, maybe this one will be better.
So I guess this is maybe Colin Farrell's superhero redemption movie.
Possibly.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Colin Farrell doesn't really make bad movies. I mean, like In Bruges, great. Seven Psychopaths.
In Bruges is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Seven Psychopaths, also done by the same writer and director as In Bruges, I'm pretty sure. And The Lobster.
Yeah, he was good.
He was great in that too. Yeah. Like, Colin Farrell can make good movies if he wants to. Like, if he has the right director and writer with him, you know, if he's making a Hollywood blockbuster like SWAT or
did you watch
what was the remake that they made? Total Recall.
Oh god.
The whole time I was like, I guess they're not going to Mars.
Did you watch The Gentleman, the Guy Ritchie movie?
I did not. No, I have not yet.
He's in that.
Okay.
And he's the movie's okay, but he's my favorite part.
Isn't it Matthew McConaughey and the guy from Sons of Anarchy?
It's Matthew McConaughey. I don't know which guy. Oh yeah,
Charlie Hunnam, I think is his name. He's British. He's a British actor.
Sons of Anarchy?
He's a lead. He's a lead character. Yeah, he's a lead character.
Yeah. Okay. He does a really good job.
I didn't even know he's British.
No.
No, he does. He does a really good job. Some British actors, you can kind of tell when they're like, you can kind of see the accent a little bit through.
Funny enough, I think it's for some reason British people do a better job playing Americans than Americans do.
Well, it's the culture, right? I mean, that's just what I've gathered, because there was this huge uproar when Renee Zellweger was doing Bridget Jones' Diary, because she's American.
There's so many like different accents in England that, like,
and the UK in general.
So that's the thing. When an American plays a British character, they're not just saying they're not just talking about her British accent. They're talking about her like either like Welsh accent or her like
Cockney accent,
Kent accent, or like whatever.
Cockney accent.
Yeah, like whatever.
Or what's the one? What's Brad Pitt in that Guy Ritchie movie? What are they? The Pikeys.
It's a Cockney.
It's Cockney, right? Yeah. His ma.
The Pikeys are the like
nomads.
Yeah.
Michael C. Hall had a show on Netflix where he played a British doctor looking for his daughter, or something like that. He did a great job. Like, he actually, like, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought he was British originally. He apparently spent months.
There definitely are a few actors that I'm surprised to find out that are British. Like, yeah.
Now, would you consider Johnny Depp's role in Pirates of the Caribbean, is that a British accent? Like, isn't it though? Like,
but you have heard of me. I can't even.
But you have heard of me. You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
You're the worst pirate I've ever heard. But you have heard of me. Does he do a British British accent?
I'm playing it back in my head.
I almost feel like he does an American accent, but everyone else is doing British.
Because everyone is British in that movie.
Yeah.
So I've got.
Well, everyone's actually is Orlando Bloom British or American?
Yes, he's British.
Yeah,
he's actually British. They're all the whole
so
cast.
Keira Knightley.
Bloom. The whole cast is British, except for him. And, like, the odd one, like Zoe Saldana, who's in it, she has an American accent. But for the most part, yeah, they're all British.
Do you like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
I like the first one. I saw the first one in theaters, and it blew my fucking mind. I mean, I was, like, 13 at the time.
I love that
It was right in the right age gap for me when I saw it, and I was like, okay, this is legit. Like, and then the second one, I was like, okay. I guess I was too old at that point. I was like, it lost its luster.
Funny thing is, like, my dad really likes those movies, and he's got all of them.
And even the newest one.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to go see that in theaters. It was on a cheap night too.
Which I get, because I fucking still watch the 3 Jurassic Park movies. Because I like fucking dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, and as much people shit on the third one, I like the third one.
It's funny you say that because most people disagree with me and like, yeah, you can see it's not great, but it's fucking dinosaurs.
If anything, I think the third one is better than the second one. The second one's got a lot of shit going on for no reason.
It's weird, yeah.
And you got like, why is Vince Vaughn in this? You know, he
plays Owen.
He does actually. Pretty sure I had an action figure of him actually too when I was a kid.
I did too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone had that action figure.
Yeah, I got the Vaughn.
He has like the hose thing.
Do you ever think there's some kid playing with the action figure and he's just doing the Vince Vaughn thing? He's like, who are we? Why are we here? What happened? What are we doing? Where are we going? Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Where's Owen Wilson?
And he's like, wow. Is that a
fucking dinosaur?
Wow.
What's that, a T-Rex?
They're all scalier than I thought they were going to be.
And then you just see Sam Neill like,
oh man, they should just reshoot that. Just put, instead of what's her face, just put in Owen Wilson. Julia, what's her name? Not the second one, but the first one. But add in Owen Wilson.
Laura Dern.
Yeah, Laura Dern. Sorry, I was looking for a name.
Put Owen Wilson in it. But Vince Vaughn isn't in it. The first one.
He could be. He could just be the shooter guy.
Shooter!
Fucking shooter, I don't care. Yeah, right.
It's a fucking dinosaur. It's gonna eat people. You just gotta shoot it.
You gotta shoot it.
I don't understand why everyone's standing around for it. Just shoot her.
Just fucking shoot it. Oh man. You see, it writes itself.
You're so money and you don't even know
it. It's so money. But yeah, like coming back to it, yeah, I did like the third Jurassic Park more than the fucking second one. Would you agree?
No.
No?
No, I don't know. No. Because the second one was still Spielberg.
Oh, that's right, it was Spielberg.
And it still had its moments. The third one felt like, what the hell was going on, kind of?
Well, the thing I didn't like is that in the second one, it was good up to a point, and then I was like, okay, now it's getting a little zany. Like when the daughter was doing like gymnastics and stuff. That's
obviously the worst part.
And then I was like, okay. I was like,
why? Yeah, she does a fucking flip around the pole and kicks the raptor in the face.
Yeah.
That fucking sucked. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah.
But I think there's way more cheese in the third one. I mean, the third one's got Alan.
But, in the second one, I remember the daughter and like weird off question, but I remember I was like, is she adopted? They never really touched on that.
Well, you never meet the wife, right?
But like,
I guess she's adopted. Yeah.
But like,
well, yes.
But it just never really touched on, and it kind of leaves you sitting there like asking yourself the question, like without really knowing. But like, I always just thought that was kind of funny. Even as a kid, I was like, wait a second. But yeah, and the second one when the T-Rex is running amok through San Francisco, I was like, did we really need this? True. Like, I do like in the third one when he's answering the questions, he's like, I was not there for that. Like when Alan Grant's answering the questions, like, anyone have any questions? Everyone puts their hands up. He's like, that are not about the park. He's like, and that are not about the incident in San Francisco. I was not there. And everyone's just like, oh.
There's like one question.
Like one question. Oh, Sam Neill. Oh, but yeah, third one's good in its own sense. Like, I don't know, I just like the fact that it stays on the island and that.
That's true, yeah. It's funny, I forgot about the San Diego stuff. And you're right, that is so dumb. Because, like, it's almost like it's a different movie at that point. Like, why did they go to the San Diego?
I think it's because they were like, okay, this needs to be epic.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be, like, that blockbuster part of it, right? You know, like, in the first one, you have, like so many iconic scenes. But
the idea is that they're building a park in San Diego.
Yeah, they're stealing the dinosaurs.
Yeah, but they have a plan, like Jurassic Park, or what is the company called?
InGen.
InGen.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I was going to get there, but Hammond's involved and InGen, and they're going to make a park in San Diego.
Why the fuck would you open that in the middle of the city?
I know.
Why would you just open it on Alcatraz? Alcatraz is right there.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Where the fuck are they gonna go?
Oh, but even when they go to on a remote island in Costa Rica,
they still fuck shit up.
It still goes wrong. So their idea is like, all right, it didn't work here. Let's go to a populated city.
Lots of hills and like houses, really enclosed. I don't see where this can go wrong.
But I guess the idea is, I don't know.
Let's bring the Rex to the bay.
Let's make some money.
But yeah, like I feel like they just need to add that stuff in because they were like. Now, do we talk about the new ones? Like
Jurassic World?
Yeah. Is it not just a rehash of the other two?
Yeah.
Like the first one's a rehash of the first one and the second one's just a Lost World?
The second one is kind of, yeah.
They're stealing the dinosaurs again, but doesn't the island explode or something?
Yeah. Or they sell I think that's what's happening. They gotta get the dinosaurs out and then they sell them to like illegally to like rich business people
who are kind of just planning to do the same thing that they were planning to do.
I remember watching that movie and I remember like people will spend anything on these dinosaurs and they do the auction and they sell for like $4 million.
I'm like, that seems low.
Yeah, it does.
A fucking LeBron James rookie card sells for 3.5. What are you telling me a fucking dinosaur is gonna go for $5 million? Like, some asshole with a bit of money could fucking pull that off. Like, yeah, I got a fucking raptor in my basement.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't seem safe.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, what the?
You kind of lowballed them there.
Yeah, but I liked. Again, this is the same point. Is like, as long as they make.
I mean, they set it up. They kind of set up the third one, right? Jurassic Planet, I'm assuming. Because the dinosaurs are loose, right?
Jurassic Earth.
But that's what I want to know. Like, wouldn't the government be like, oh, there's a bunch of dinosaurs on the loose? Like, is there no way of stopping this? Like...
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, right? Like, they'd be able to...
But I don't know if they're making that movie. Because I remember hearing that they're not.
I mean, I would still make it, put it out. You know, people are still gonna. I would go see it anyway.
They are making it.
Oh, 2022? Jurassic World, what's it called?
Dominion.
Oh
my god, so they made it for 170 million. It grossed 1.3 billion.
The second one?
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking insane. Pretty good.
So no shit they're making a
yeah, they'd be fucking stupid. That's a cash cow. But that's the problem. Do you think this is gonna be good? Probably not.
A lot of money. No, I don't think it's going to be good. But I like the idea of
dinosaurs running amok
in the city.
I like the idea of like a post-apocalyptic world where the dinosaurs, like everything's fucked. Like some sort of disease goes, like
COVID-19.
Well, I mean, a little more intense than that.
COVID-20.
And like, there's only so many people left. Kind of like Planet of the Apes scenario. Actually, it's kind of verbatim what happens in Planet of the Apes, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
That's true, but that would be... yeah, so they come back to Earth, but instead of apes, the Earth's like ruled by dinosaurs.
Yeah, and you'd be like, I think we went back too far. Nah. They ruined it all.
they think they've gone back too far. Yeah. They find the fucking
then they find
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Oh, you bastards. I mean, people who haven't seen the Planet of the Apes would be like, what a twist! Like,
you ruined it!
What's that old racist guy yelling about?
Is that the idea, though? The third movie is going to be like, if there's dinosaurs released, then the dinosaurs will take over again?
Well, they're supposed to be like the
apex.
The apex predators, right?
Yeah, the genetically modified ones.
Yeah, you know who could fuck them up? Apex from Becky.
Yes, he could. He's the real apex predator.
He's top of the food chain.
But I think, so let's make predictions, and I would like the movie to be about 20 years later.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The dinosaurs have like fucked shit up, and
yeah, they're like kind of living in like this post like apocalyptic society kind of thing, you know, or maybe the dinosaurs live among them in society, all of the Flintstones.
No.
It's a living.
The pterodactyl brings them the mail.
I mean, hey. If they really want to make money, Jurassic Park Star Wars crossover.
True, yeah, they just go to another planet.
Just bring them up.
Why didn't they do that? Star Trek did it.
Star Trek did do that, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They have the, you know, the one where Spock has to fight, like Kirk has to fight Spock. Those guys are all like little dinosaur people.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's alien race, but yeah, I kind of.
I know, but they were like, they looked like the old dinosaurs when they used to make old shitty dinosaur movies in like the 50s.
Yeah, in the 50s. Yeah. They had the head.
Dinosaurs stood up like humans.
Yeah.
Like straight. Yeah, that's what they looked like. Shall we
call it an app?
Yeah.
Well, we put in our Jurassic Park predictions, so if it does go down that way, hey, hit me up, Hollywood. I could write Jurassic Park 4 for you.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
We could.
Jurassic World 4. So
Jurassic
they're
World 4.
already thinking about getting somebody else because you can't even
get
remember
there.
what the real title is.
Jurassic Park 4.
It was like, no, don't you mean Jurassic World 4? No. I want to make Jurassic Park 4. I'm going back to the
prequel.
Why is there two? Now there's two like series. There's Jurassic Parks and there's just Jurassic Worlds. They're like the same thing, but why?
It's because they have to split the franchise up because they're like, can't be on this fucking island anymore. We've done this to death.
Yeah,
I think that's why they also probably brought him off the island in the second one because they were like, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to stop. This can't be just about this. But, like, that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
let me ask you this. Okay, so Jurassic World, say it's open, you know, successful, everything's...
I don't have the money if you're going to ask if I'm going to go.
How much would you spend? How much would you pay to go to Jurassic World?
Well, I don't think I could get there for $500, so that's probably not going to happen. I don't know, a couple grand. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Like,
no, I
like, what would you have to realistically charge for all this? You got to pay the scientists. You got to pay, you know, the people who feed the fucking things. Like,
so think about how.
What is their overhead? You think?
Yeah,
like, how much would you have to charge somebody? Probably like
think about how
50 grand.
Expensive like Disney World is, and
that's just fucking expensive.
Yeah,
this is like Disney World on fucking crack.
Yeah. And you also have to, I guess you do this at Disney World too, kind of, but you would have to stay in the hotel there.
The Jurassic Hotel?
Yeah, like you would have to be flown in because it's on an island.
Yeah, but you get a chopper.
If you're paying to go...
I would be pissed if I went there and I didn't come in the chopper.
Like, what would you come in on a boat?
No, fuck that. I want to come in.
Probably fucking do that. They'd have like a ferry that takes like 3 hours.
Yeah, I want to go in on the chopper and I want to hear the music and I want to.
They're playing the music.
But yeah, no, I can never afford to go there. That's what it's coming down to.
No.
Oh well. It doesn't exist, so I don't feel so bad. But if it ever does.
What if a weekend cost $10,000? Would you spend the money?
Yeah, for an average person, I would spend 10 grand.
Yeah.
To go there for like 3 days. I mean, that's cool. You could say you got to see it, but then again, is it cheapened because it's so cheap that everyone else goes and does it? That it's like, oh, I went to Jurassic Park, and it's like, who gives a fuck? I went too. Like,
that's the thing. Are dinosaurs? Well, in this scenario, would dinosaurs become just like zoo animals?
Yeah, you just be like, whatever.
See them. I don't.
You become desensitized to it.
Maybe.
You'd be like, who gives a fuck?
But it's still fucking dinosaurs, man.
I mean, yeah, but like...
Even if they're on TV, we know they exist.
I've been to a gator farm before. That's the closest thing I can think of. And like, that was pretty cool. They fucking throw shit in the water.
So I guess we don't need to go to Jurassic World. Just go
to Florida. Florida. They got fucking gators everywhere. Just go in the fucking swamp. It's the closest thing you can get. The Everglades, yeah. All right, I guess that's what we're doing then.
Let's plan a trip to Florida.
I think that's what's happening.
All right. Cool.